Guys, I'm so excited to be at the river with you with an update. We got rain, guys. Rain is here. It's starting to sprinkle, which means a lot more is headed. This whole week is supposed to be raining. That means all the lower fish where I'm at right now in the lower system tidewater is going to push up to our upper rivers. We're going to get some fish that are not only going to cycle through and move up, but our fresh biters are coming in. There's even fish jumping around us right now. I'm excited though, because this is my favorite time of the year to start really getting back on a spinnerbite. These fish are super aggressive, but they've been a little stale with the lower water. So we need this rain, and it's coming. So what are we gonna do? I'm down here bushwhacking a little bit in the lower stretches of the rivers. We got tidewater, so that does impact what the fish come in at. However, keeping a small, simple rod, this is an 8 to 15, 7 foot. This is a really cool little rod we picked up at the Sportsman Show. The Twitch rod that I got behind me there is our 7.6 Velocity, works really good. Something smaller really helps, I think, on hardware, and when you don't have a lot of room behind you to cast. I'm throwing these weighted spinners, the Wickeds. It's all really a great idea for this style of fishing. Now, what you gotta keep in mind here, right, is that this weather change does a few different things. The barometric pressure changes. That's the first piece. The fish know what is now happening. This means you're gonna get fish moving. They're gonna get in more waves pushing through. It's game on. And I cannot wait, because this turns the bite on. If anyone's been around where that water comes up just a little bit, even if it's enough to get the clarity murky, these fish can turn on in an instant. I'm so excited to showcase some more fishing this week, but I just wanted to kind of break it down to you guys how pivotal this first real rain is, especially mid-season. We're in mid part of October. This is important for this time to get these fish moving, but again, get them moving so they're on the bite, not just running to the hatcheries. So I'm chasing these fish with hardware as much as I can. It's spinners, twitch and jigs. When they get to the upper stretches, when they're going to stage a little bit better, then we can do jigs under a float with some shrimp, one of my favorites, and some eggs. So we're going to show you guys that as we progress up towards the tributaries. But this lower river stuff, it's hardware bite all day long for me, baby. So just to give you a little perspective of what I'm talking about for the gear specifics, it really is all dependent on the clarity of the water conditions, how low it is in the area you're fishing, right? If I'm in the tidewater like I was there, we're using some of these bigger, heavier spinners with a little bigger profile, just in hopes to get the attention of these traveling fish. But as you saw, we also were running this little smaller guy because I had some low water pockets that we were fishing, and I knew that these fish had been in there for a while. Still keeping some brighter colors, but trying that smaller profile to see if we could get one to go. That's a great way to do it. You can also go with these Wicked lures and try the unweighted, where you have the weight above the spinner. It gives it a little more natural flow in the water. Sometimes that actually works a little bit better for the fish to follow and strike. When you're looking at your twitching jigs, a little different, right? Not too crazy complex here. Colors are pretty straightforward. You can use the brighter colors, no doubt, to get their attention, but the darker blues and purples with some flash really works well in the lower water when you get that clear condition. So I'm chasing these fish in this lower section of the river, currently throwing this gear literally right now. And this stuff will still work as the water comes up with this rain, but to give you guys a perspective in just seeing how this best fits into the equation, this is kind of what I'm doing. Now, how am I fishing these things? I see a pot of fish that are coming up, or I see and know where some jumpers or rollers are. I'm leading that school or those fish 5 to 10 feet ahead of them, letting that spinner drift right in front of them, and really trying to swing it in front of their face and draw that aggression strike. Same thing with the Wickeds. It's more of a swing method like you would for spoons, using the current and just slowly reeling it in. Now, twitch and jigs, again, about 5 feet in front of the fish, maybe 10 feet. Let it get down and then slow pop and retrieve. Hopes to get that jigs to stay right in front of that fish's face and get them triggered to strike. So I really hope for you guys going into this week, we're going to have some really fun things happening with the rain transition, and our tributaries are going to turn on, as well as the main rivers, like no tomorrow after we get this bump. Tight lines. Fish on.